Alrighty.
News flash. It is Monday, March 31st, 1941, and Glenn Miller's band tops the charts with that snappy tune called In the Mood. Bull of a Watch Company pays $9 for the first ever network TV commercial. National Gallery of Art just opened last week in Washington, D.C. And on this historic date, Napervillians Walter Fredenhagen, Stanley Law, Maurice Haehlen, and Charles Schwartz chartered the first ever Naperville Service Club, the Rotary Club of Naperville. And that's the news. Thank you. I'm Alma Jones, and I am honored to be your president during this historic 80th year. Welcome to all our members. Welcome to our very, very special guests. And welcome to the celebration of 80 years of doing good in the world, Rotary Club of Naperville style. I invite you today to lift up with gratitude with the spirit of those Rotarians whose vision 8 decades ago built a foundation of excellence that continues on today. Leading us today for the Pledge of Allegiance are past presidents who served with honor the Rotary Club of Naperville. Please welcome Bran Boboski, Roy Bynum, Ed Chanel, Randy Ems, and our immediate past president, Rachel Osira.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alma, you're on mute.
Well, that was a great way to begin, wasn't it? Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. So again, thank you to those distinguished past presidents for joining us today to kick off this historic day. So just a couple items of housekeeping here. I'm going to ask if all of you would keep your video on today, because we are going to have some group photos that will be taken throughout the program. So we would love to have your smiling faces rather than just your name or your phone number, if you would indulge us that today, please. And if you could stay on mute just to keep the background noise down, that would be great. And please use the chat for any comments or announcements or anything that you might have to share with us today. So it's a great day to be here, and I say thank you. So I am now honored to introduce Kim White, President nominee, our future president in 2022-23, to share a few words. Kim?
Thank you so much, Alma. We work differently. We see differently. Our multidisciplinary perspective helps us see challenges in unique ways. We think differently. We apply leadership and expertise to social issues and find unique solutions. We act responsibly. Our passion and perseverance create lasting change. We make a difference at home and around the world. Our members can be found in your community and across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you for your current and your future leadership. I'm now pleased to introduce President-elect Brian O'Malley with today's joyful moment.
All right, thank you, Alma. As we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Rotary Club of Naperville, we honor those who came before us. We're grateful for their vision, their commitment, and their dedication in making our club what it is today. I hope that we always remember and honor those responsible for our great heritage, as they provided a strong foundation for us to build. Over these many years, our club has helped countless people in need, not only in our community, but across the globe. I'm humbled and inspired when I look back on just this past year. 3 occasions immediately come to mind. First, in the early days of the pandemic, our club provided iPads to senior care facilities so residents could see and communicate with their loved ones. I remember when I delivered the iPads to one of the homes, the staff and the director came out to say thank you, all with tears in their eyes. That was not the only tears of joy I experienced this past year. The second instance was when I called on one of the Jazz Quilt fundraiser recipients. The director was so overcome with emotion, she could not speak, and she had to ask me to call her back. When I did, she told me that they were wondering how they could possibly go on, but our donation gave them hope. And finally, I will never forget the day the doctor from San Pedro Sula, in the midst of his rounds, joined our weekly Zoom meeting to thank us for the medical equipment our club helped provide his hospital. The raw emotion that poured out as he told us how the equipment we helped donate saved many lives was one of the most moving experiences I've ever had. Our club is a beacon of light to many, an array of hope where there is great despair. We are privileged to be a part of this great organization, and with this privilege comes great responsibility to continue our mission to serve. There will be challenges that lie ahead, but I'm confident that together we can overcome any obstacles. I pray that our club continues to do great work in providing service above self for many, many years to come.
Thank you, Brian, for those inspiring words and for your current leadership that I appreciate very much. I know the entire club does, and for your future leadership of our club that we all are looking forward to. Thank you. The fingerprints of 80 years of service above self and leadership through community service are etched upon the work that we celebrate today on this 80th anniversary of our club's charter. As one of only 8 women who have led the club as president so far in its 8-decade history, I'm honored to be part of history with all of you. The various roles in today's program are filled with presidents past or in the present president continuum. We all thank you for your past and your future leadership. On March 16th of this month, I accepted the mayor's proclamation read by Councilman Benny White, proclaiming March 31st, 2021 as Rotary Club of Naperville 80th Charter Day in the city of Naperville. Mayor Chirico encouraged all citizens to join him in congratulating the organization of women and men who serve the local and global community with service above self. I offered gratitude on behalf of our entire club and advised council that we would place the document in the time capsule to be opened by Rotarians at the centennial of the club in 20 years. How blessed we are to be able to create an environment of service that Rotarians of the future may build upon. Cheers to all of you and these 80 years that we celebrate today. And now I introduce President nominee Rich Tatara as today's 80th anniversary guest sergeant. Sergeant Laura Rossman has placed the link for scholarship donations into the chat. So I thank you, Laura, for your outstanding work this year to raise funds for scholarships. And thank you, Rich, for being our guest sergeant today. Let's all welcome Rich for this very special day.
Thank you. Alma, it's a pleasure to be here today. I reflect on the fact that it was 4 years ago this month that John Norman invited me to come to a Rotary meeting and to join Rotary. And that has led to a very rich experience and growth in personal growth in my journey through Rotary to this point. I note that at the first meetings, When we met in person, it was customary for the sergeant to go around and collect happy bucks. And unfortunately, we won't have time today to do happy bucks due to our program. But the other thing that was a regular feature was that we would fine everybody $5 a week at a weekly meeting that everybody would pay towards our scholarships. Now, we have not been able to do that during the pandemic here because we've been meeting via Zoom. But I note that to date this year, we have about 26 meetings that we've held. And those 26 meetings would equate to about $130 in $5 fines. And if you made only half those meetings, that would be about $65. And just for easy remembering, think of a $64,000 question. My $64,000 question to everybody is, would you donate at least $64 today towards our fines, which of course go towards scholarships? The link is in the chat. And so all you have to do is click on that link. It takes you right directly to the donation capability. You put in your credit card number, you get a receipt immediately. Please donate towards our scholarships in a fine of at least $64 today, maybe $80 because it's the 80th anniversary, or maybe even $130, since that's what $5 a week for all the meetings we've had since July 1st would equate to. So please donate to that link. And thank you so much for supporting Rotary. And I'll take it back to you, Alma, for the rest of our program.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you very much. Great thoughts about reasons to donate. And I'm just going to say that I am in for $64 today, most definitely. So thank you, Rich. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for your future leadership as you are our current president nominee. So thank you. It is now an honor for me to introduce Pat Merriweather Argis. Pat is a past president, 2009, 2010 of our Rotary Club, and past district governor 2012, 2013. She is now a Rotary International Director nominee and will take office in 2022. Pat has served in so many capacities at a district and zone level, always with an eye towards service above self. She has been involved in healthcare quality and safety for 3 decades and is the executive director of Project Patient Care. Pat and Rotarian George Argis have 4 sons and 7 grandchildren. Pat, take it away.
Thank you, Alma. And it's wonderful to be here celebrating 80 years of our Rotary Club of Naperville. It is special because we are a community of caring. Not only do we have our club, but we also have created other clubs. And we are involved heavily locally and globally. And when I think back, 1941, we were in World War II. And RI was just building its membership. There were about 200,000 members worldwide in Rotary. And so much has changed since then. We've weathered many issues, wars, recessions, energy crises, and now a pandemic. But still, Rotary and Rotary Club of Naperville prevails. And it's a source of fellowship, service, and all about service above self. We are resilient. And in times like this, in the midst of a pandemic, we are still meeting, we are still working together, we are still providing service locally and globally and building a path towards peace. So I know I look forward to seeing everyone soon in person. We all miss those hugs. But I also look forward to 2041. So thank you. And again, congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you for your absolutely steadfast support of the club, of local and global initiatives, and all you do for Rotary internationally. So thank you from all of us. And now Rotary International President Holger Knock has boundless energy for the future of Rotary and the resilience of Rotarians.
Congratulations on your milestone anniversary in Rotary. In Rotary, we take birthdays seriously, not just because they honor the past, but because they point to the future. Having the staying power of so many years shows that club's continuity, friendship, and care matter. It is our values that keep us coming back year after year and give us reason to care about the future of our clubs. A strong club will find ways to grow and thrive. These birthdays also point us forward. Strong clubs are the heart of Rotary. Rotary opens opportunities for us and the people we serve. Thank you for helping to build those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, President Holger, for your vote of confidence for the vibrant future of Rotary. And now it is an honor for me to introduce Bill Anderson, President in 2005, 2006, who has some very, very special introductions to make himself. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Alma. I had the honor of being president of our club 2005, 2006. That was the year that Rotary International celebrated its 100th year. Our big fundraiser that year was Oktoberfest. Remember Oktoberfest? We raised about $70,000, I think, that year. Serving as president that year was a very rewarding experience. Our club has been the preeminent service club in Naperville for 80 years now. From its early years as more of a businessman's social gathering to today's club with our very active, committed, and involved members, we have taken action to create lasting change across the globe, in our community, and in ourselves. You're about to hear from three past Rotary Club of Naperville presidents from three different decades. One happens to be my favorite Rotarian of all time, my dad. He was president of our club 71, 72. Each one of these three were confronted with the joys and challenges of the time. From the fight to eradicate polio all the way to September 11th. The response from the Rotary Club of Naperville to these and many other events over the years has just been incredible. On a local level, Rotaract and Interact clubs were started. Naperville Rotary Charities and the Rotary Club of Naperville Charities were formed. With the many Naperville Rotarians, past and present, much was accomplished. We also had a lot of fun along the way. The goal of our Rotary Club is to create lasting change in our community and the world. And this video will show those past three presidents did exactly that. Take it away.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm architect Chuck George. Happy 80th anniversary. I was president in 1989 and have been a Naperville Rotarian since 1962.
I'm Bob Anderson. I was president of the Rotary Club for the year 71 to 72.
Hi, my name is Barbara Dwyer, and I was your president for 2001 to 2002.
I was Don Schanauer, who was a professor at the college, and he was the president before me. He gave me a lot of good things to go by. And our club was probably around 30 people. Our main source of income was the sergeant at arms. We didn't have any fundraiser. It was always funny. In fact, I was the secretary treasurer before I became president, and we had a vote every time we had a donation from somebody, and probably the most we ever gave as a donation was $25.
During my presidency, Rotary donated $30,000 to the Sesquicentennial Riverwalk Commission over a 3-year period of time for the construction and naming of Rotary Hill. This was unusual because it committed the next two succeeding administrations to that donation, something never before done. We also started the Interact Club at Naperville North High School with the help of North Teacher Rotarians and the Rotaract Club at North Central College.
Rotary for me always was and continues to be a way that I put my faith into action. It allows me to be the hands and the feet of our Lord in the community and worldwide. It's also family. It truly is family to me, and if you cut me, I still bleed Rotary blue. Many of my Rotary dads have passed. I love them dearly. My Rotary uncles, my brothers, my sisters, and those of you I haven't met yet. You're among my cousins, and I'm glad we're part of the same family. We have a lot of work to do in this world. We have a lot of work to do in our communities, and no one is better suited than Rotary to meet those monumental needs.
Brought into the club by my father-in-law, who was also my boss, Harold Kester. So there were two of us from Oswald's Pharmacy. He took senior active, so I could come in as an active pharmacist. Marv Thompson was our sergeant at arms, and he did a good job, but very seldom would you find anybody over $1, unless it was some special occasion. Then it might go up to $5. Our meetings were held at the YMCA on the second floor, and Al Rubin catered our dinners, and it was always very good.
I was fortunate to represent the club at the International Convention in Seoul, Korea. After the convention, my wife Marilyn and I joined a Rotary group that toured China that happened to land in Beijing the very afternoon of Tiananmen Square massacre. But that's another story. I did come back home appreciating what democracy and freedom of speech was all about.
My year was the year that 9/11 happened, and we all remember where we were during that time. I also will tell you that our club responded in a big way, giving our prayers and our contributions to the 9/11 emergency fund. I also remember that it was a time of unprecedented growth. I had the privilege of inducting 27 new members into our club. Some people thought that it was fine just the way it was. Other people thought the more the merrier. Some of those people that got inducted the year that I was president were Alma Jones, our dear president, Hussein Jamali, Pat Merriweather, Ray Kinney, Sandy Benson, some of the greats that have served our community.
I'd like to wish the club a happy 80th birthday. That means it was formed when I was 9 years old.
It's been an honor to be a Naperville Rotarian for almost 60 years.
I hope you all feel proud of the work that you've done and will continue to do. I know I'm proud of you. It's a memory that I will hold dear in my heart and a time in my life that I cherish. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
How inspiring to hear from these leaders, feel their true passion for service through Rotary. Thank you all. Thank you all for your comments, for being here. We would not be where we are without the contributions of all of you. Thank you. I was inspired to serve as Community Service Chair on past President John Norman's board in 2017-18. And now we welcome this leader to test our Rotary knowledge and to have some fun. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Alma. Good afternoon, everyone. Rotary's 116 years old, and our club has been part of Rotary for 80 of them. This part of the program, you're going to be able to test your knowledge of the history of Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Naperville. We hope you learned something new about Rotary history, the great things we're doing locally and globally, and most of all, I hope you have a fun time playing the game. You may want to share a story or ask a question about some of the questions and answers, but unfortunately, we don't have time for comments during the program. Feel free to stick around after the meeting ends and we can talk and chat. In addition, remember, there's no agenda for the President's Porch, which is upcoming at our regular meeting time, the last Thursday of the month. This month, it's on April 29th, and these questions and answers make for great conversation. You'll have multiple choice answers for each of the following questions. No fair Googling. Submit your answers quickly because we'll keep it moving. And there's 4 possibilities for each question. If you have additional comments you'd like to share about any of the trivia questions or answers, please put it in the chat section. Be sure to keep track of how many you get right. And at the end of the game, we'll check the chat to see who knows most about Rotary trivia. Once again, anyone who would like to comment further, please put it in the chat. So let's introduce our first contestant. Our first contestant comes all the way from, oh, wait a minute. All of our contestants are from Naperville, and they're all Rotarians. So let's get the game started. Question number 1. On October 1st, 2021, which club member will celebrate his 50th anniversary as a Rotarian? Dave Stewart, Bob Anderson, Chuck George, or Paul Lehman? Answers in. The answer is Chuck George. Chuck was sponsored into Rotary Club by Larry Gregory in the classification of architect. Chuck and his firm were instrumental in establishing Naperville's crown jewel, the Riverwalk. His son, Bruce George, carries on Chuck's business, Charles Vincent George Architects, and is a member of the Rotary Club of Naperville Sunrise. Question number 2. In 1910, where in Chicago was the first Rotary convention held? The Palmer House, Congress Hotel, Allerton Hotel, or Comley Bank? The answer is the Congress Hotel in Chicago. Since this first convention in Chicago, Rotary International has held convention in Chicago 6 more times: 1930, 1944, 45, 1955, 1980, and the Centennial Convention in 2005. Comley Bank, by the way, was the home of Paul and Jean Harris in the Morgan Park neighborhood of Chicago. No, next question. Who is the chairperson of the Rotary Centennial Convention? Pat Meriwether Argus, Art Davis, Dick Galitz, or Gene Thompson? The answer is Dick Galitz. While Art and Pat have a long track record of service locally and globally, Dick Galitz was the one at the helm for the convention. The club is blessed to have him with his vast knowledge of Rotary history and practices as one of our members. Jean Thompson, incidentally, was also known as Jean Thompson Harris, the wife of Paul Harris. Next question. Where can you find 4 xylophone type instruments that anyone can play? Fredenhagen Park, Oswald Anderson Park, Knock Park, or Rotary Harmony Park? The answer is Rotary Harmony Park. Alma and I got this idea for Rotary Harmony Park when we saw an exhibit at the Rotary International Convention in Atlanta in 2017. It is also known as the place where there are no wrong notes. Next question. In which event did Rotary Club of Naperville sponsor before Soup's On? Oktoberfest, Naper Nights, Beau Arts Ball, or Cup of Cheer? The answer is Oktoberfest. These were all memorable civic events in Naperville, and some still are, but the club was responsible for initially sponsoring Oktoberfest. Next question. Which former Rotary Club of Naperville president is the daughter of a charter member of the club? Pat Meriwether Argus, Barb Dwyer, Rita Harvard, or Liz Ziente? Answers in. The answer is Rita Harvard. Rita was known for actively recruiting members to work on club activities such as Oktoberfest, carrying a writing crop at meetings to encourage everyone to sign up and to help out. Next question. Who was that charter member who was also the father of Rita Harvard? Owen Beetleman, Milton Stauffer, Forrest Turner, or Walter Fredenhagen? The answer is Walter Fredenhagen. Walter, a charter member in the classification of ice cream manufacturing, was one of the founders of the Prince Castle Drive-Ins. With his portion of the restaurants later rebranded as Cock Robin, the Naperville site was donated to the city by his family, including Rita Harvard, where now is located Fredenhagen Park. Located at the park is the Rotary Club of Naperville Memorial. Next question is, which of the following Rotarians was not a member of the Naperville Rotary Club while serving as district governor of 6450? Pat Meriwether Argus, Nikki Scott, Dick Galitz, or Art Muehlhausen? Answers in. The answer is Dick Galitz. All of these individuals served as district governor, but during his term as governor, Dick Galitz was a member of the Rotary Club of Chicago, also known as Rotary One. The next question, who was the first woman to serve as president of the Rotary Club of Naperville? Barb Dwyer, Elizabeth Ziente, Pat Meriwether Argus, or Rita Harvard? Answers in is Rita Harvard. Walter Fredenhagen and Rita Harvard are thus far the only father-daughter pair to each serve as president of the Rotary Club of Naperville. Next question is, which Rotary Club of Naperville past presidents started the tradition of ending each meeting with a four-way test? Glenn Eakey, Bob Anderson, Rita Harvard, or Paul Lehman? The answer is Paul Lehman. During his presidency from 1980 to 1981, Paul ended each meeting with a four-way test. This meaningful tradition lives on, and we hope helps to inspire our members to live by those principles in their daily lives. Thanks, Paul. Next question, what did the Rotary Club of Naperville donate to the Millennium Carillon at Mosier Tower? A keyboard, a carillonneurs cabin, one of the largest bells, or a gallery level observation deck? Answer is one of the largest bells. Specifically, our club donated the second largest bell. As is the case with many events and attractions in Naperville, the Carillon has a connection to the Rotary Club of Naperville. The idea for such a commemoration of the millennium was the brainchild of two members of the club, past president Jim Bergeron Sr. and Chuck Seidel. My thing is zoomed out. Next question is, what is one way in which the Rotary Foundation has transformed millions of lives around the world? Polio eradication efforts, providing clean water through international H2O collaboration, promoting peace through Rotary Peace Centers, or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. At the 1970, I'm sorry, guys, it just got covered up. The plus is something else that is provided as part of the polio eradication campaign. It might be a hand-operated tricycle or access to water. It might be additional medical treatment, bed, nets, or soap. In a 2010 study estimated that vitamin A drops given to children at the same time the polio vaccination was given have prevented 1.25 million deaths by increasing susceptibility to infectious diseases. Bill Anderson was preceded as president of the Rotary Club of Naperville by his father, Bob Anderson, and by his grandfather. Namely, I'm sorry, guys, my screen keeps getting covered up here. So Bill Anderson was preceded as president of the Rotary Club by Naperville by his father, Bob Anderson, and his grandfather, namely Tony Castagnoli, Harold Kester, Arlo Schilling, Robert Raymond. The answer is Harold Kester. Harold Kester, Bill's maternal grandfather, was a third-generation owner of Oswald's Pharmacy. He later sold it to his son-in-law, Bob Anderson, who in turn sold it to Bill. Harold, Bob, and Bill are thus far the only family with 3 generations of Rotary presidents in their family tree. Bill's son, Alex, recently became the 6th generation owner of Oswald's. Perhaps someday, Alex will carry on the tradition of Rotary leadership. Next question, before Mason Sabika, where were club meetings held? The YMCA, Key Wester Fish and Pasta House, Crest Creek Country Club, or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. When the club began meeting, we were at the YMCA on Washington Street and remained there until 1975, when we relocated to Crest Creek Country Club. In 2003, when the clubhouse was about to be torn down and rebuilt, our meetings were moved to Key Wester. We returned to the rebuilt Crest Creek for a few months in 2006, after which we returned to Key Wester until they remodeled in 2010. We returned for one meeting before management told President Bob Espander that the restaurant was closing. Bob had a hectic week, but without missing a meeting, we settled in at Mason Sabika, where our regular in-person meetings have been held ever since. The next question is, which 2 lieutenant governors of the state of Illinois have been featured in our programs at regular meetings of the Rotary Club of Naperville? Paul Simon and Pat Quinn, Paul Simon and Sheila Simon, Corrine Wood and Evelyn Sanguinetti, Samuel Shapiro and Bob Custra. The answer is Corrine Wood and Evelyn Sanguinetti. With Naperville's growth into major center population and business, we have been able to attract the interest of politicians and other local government leaders. Corrine Wood spoke during Barb Dwyer's time as president. Evelyn Sanguinetti spoke while Wendy Gross was president. Including our current president, Alma Jones, how many women have served as president of the Rotary Club of Naperville? 4, 7, 6, or 8? The answer is 8. Rita Harvard was the first woman president of the club, serving from 1994 to 95, followed by Barb Dwyer in 2001 and Pat Meriwether Argus in 2009. Over the last 10 years, 2011 to the present, fully half of our presidents have been women. Liz Ziente, Wendy Gross, Nina Menace, Rachel Osira, and Alma Jones. Next question is, who conceived the 4-way test? Herbert Taylor, Paul Harris, Arch Klump, or Frank Devlin? The answer is Herbert Taylor. Rotarian Herbert Taylor was asked to take over a company that was facing bankruptcy. He drafted the 4-way test as a guide for his employees to follow in their business and professional lives. It became the guide for sales, production, advertising, and all relations with dealers and customers. The survival of the company is credited to this simple philosophy. It was adopted by Rotary in 1943. Herb was a president of Rotary I from 1939-1940 and the Rotary International president from 1954 to 1955. Next question, the Community Service Committee has sponsored fundraisers for organizations including Make-A-Wish Foundation, Gift Mart, Bridge Communities, or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. While Rotary has its own projects, the Community Service Committee has also assisted other nonprofit organizations in the Naperville area, including each of these and many more. Next question is, where was the first Rotary Club established outside of the United States? Havana, Cuba, Dublin, Ireland, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, or Montevideo, Uruguay? The answer is Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. While the Havana Club was the first Latin America, the Montevideo Club was the first in South America, and the Dublin Club was the first in Europe. The Winnipeg Club was the first outside the United States. They billed themselves as the club that made Rotary International, chartered in November 3rd in 1910. The next question, the name of which Rotarian means light of the rising sun? Atullah Khan, Hussein Jamali, Prakash Tata, or Bibash Barua? The answer is Prakash Tata. It's amazing what you can learn after a Rotary meeting. Next question, in 2018, the International Service Committee hosted its first international meet and greet, International Service Project Day, International Service Summit, or International B2B Summit? The answer is International Service Summit. The International Service Committee determined that this would be an opportunity to help organizations, both Rotary clubs and others, to share best practices for their work in other countries. The next summit has been scheduled as a virtual event for 1 month from today, May 1st, 2021. Whether you're a Rotarian or not, if you're interested in international service, attending the summit would be a good investment of your time. And there you have it, folks. Naperville Rotary Trivia. I'd like to give thanks to John Noblock and Maria Caselli for creating all of our Rotary Trivia questions. We hope you've learned a bit about Rotary history, our club, and most of all, hope you had some fun. If you got at least 15 answers correct, let us know in the chat section. And now I'll turn the program back over to Alma.
Thank you, John. You have a career in the future as a show host, if you should so desire. That was great. Thank you very much. And it was enlightening and it was fun. And I think we all learned a lot. I also want to add your thanks to Maria Caselli and John Noblock. They spent a lot of time and energy providing the background and these questions. And I want you to know how much we appreciate that. So thank you. That was great fun. We are honored to have with us today the district governor for District 6450, Chuck Corrigan. Chuck is a charter member of the Rotary Club of Naperville Downtown, a past president of his club and past district foundation committee chair. A lawyer with over 30 years of experience in a broad variety of civil litigation, Chuck is a partner in a Naperville law firm and has been consistently rated as one of the top lawyers in the Chicago area in recognition of achievements in his practice. Chuck lives in Naperville with his wife, Mary. They have 5 children and 4 grandchildren. Chuck, take it away.
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate the introduction. Hello, everybody, and congratulations on this 80th anniversary of your club chartering. First off, the videos that you presented were terrific, and to hear those stories was really, really a high point, I think, so far of my governor year here, to really get a perspective on what's been happening in your club over the years. I wanted to, John, let you know that I did really well on your quiz. I'm not going to say the number, but it was over 15. I do have a question about Nikki Scott and Dick also being a correct answer, but I'll bring that up some other time. When I was asked to talk to your club today on this occasion, Alma, who's done a terrific job, by the way, as your president in a really challenging year. I thought of, like if I did a word cloud of thinking about your club, what words would predominate? And 3 came to mind: service, friendship, and leadership. And I think all of those have been on display today in the comments we've heard so far. The projects you've done, the service you've done both in our community and around the world is just unmatched, really, within our district. Certainly our original club, Chicago, does quite a bit as well, but no one can say that Naperville is taking a backseat to anybody in the things that you do. Friendship is on display today. The joy of seeing each other, folks that we haven't seen in a while. That there's a great connection amongst your members, and look at all the past presidents and leaders, and district leaders and zone leaders, and soon Pat will be on the Rotary International Board of Directors. So you really have attracted community leaders to your club. You have developed leaders in Rotary, and you've just been leaders in our district so many different ways, and supporting the Rotary Foundation and helping out on district committees and projects. And I really just want to thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for your service. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for your words. Thank you for always providing support. It has really been absolutely wonderful to have our district governor be in Naperville. I certainly have taken advantage of a few questions that I have had that you've been very gracious in answering for me, and the help to our club over the years. So I want you to know that we appreciate that. So I would like to thank everyone who took the time to take a look at the information that you received in the mail from us that had to do with sharing a note or sharing some information about the time capsule, to place an item in the time capsule to be opened by Rotarians in 20 years from now, 20 short years from now, really, when the club turns 100 years old. So to guide us through gathering at this moment in time for our future Rotarians, I'm really pleased to introduce past President Nina Menace, 2016-2017. Nina, what do you have in store for us?
Well, thank you, Alma. I'm just so thrilled to be here, and I would have loved to have been in the room 80 years ago when the 4 Naperville business leaders had a vision and a dream to charter the Rotary Club of Naperville. Future members along the way, and each member of our club have had their dreams and visions added to our club. These collective efforts of fun, service, and fellowship and accomplishments have brought us to where we are today. The 80th Anniversary Committee, in honor of this special occasion, thought it would be fun to develop a time capsule to be opened by the members of the Rotary Club of Naperville in 2041 in celebration of our 100th anniversary. So as Alma mentioned, in the blue packet that you received in the mail, the anniversary packet, you would have had a couple of note cards in the packet to send in your message for in 20 years to the Rotary Club of Naperville 2041. We've already received a number of messages in the mail, and we would love to include your note cards as well. We also have a number of other items that we have, and I was so excited to see Bill Garlow for the time capsule. We have, of course, a Soupçon mug that will be included in the time capsule, and a number of t-shirts that we have, a Polio Plus t-shirt. There's this Polio Plus t-shirt, and in Polio Now t-shirt, you can see it. And then of course, a Soupçon t-shirt. In there, we have the Soupçon program book. We have a Rotaract program book. The Rotary Salutes Our Veterans program. Of course, the proclamation from Mayor Cherico is going to go in that time capsule. We have the jazz trio event that we did. We also have a wonderful flag here that Alma signed that's going to go in the time capsule. Hillary was also very kind to drop off an article that she wrote for the Naperville Sun, and so that'll go in the time capsule. John Noblock has done an outstanding job of keeping our history, so that will go in the time capsule, as well as Nancy Wearsome yesterday went and picked up various papers in the community. So we have Positively Naperville, the Naperville Magazine, the Chicago Tribune on our 80th anniversary, and of course, the important Wall Street Journal on our 80th anniversary, and Business and Community Resource Guide from the Naperville Chamber of Commerce. And of course, it wouldn't be a time capsule if we didn't include information from the Century Watch, so appreciate that from Brand. So we have the We Not Me book, and by Rich Janner and Shelby Babowski. And we also have the Century Walk cards. So we have a table full of items here. If you have anything that you would like to include in the time capsule, please let me know. I'm going by John Norman's office this afternoon to pick up a couple of items. That way, all of us can be part of the 100th anniversary celebration of the Rotary Club of Naperville, and we will be able to share our insights with them about the amazing Rotary Club of Naperville 2021. Thanks, Alma.
Thank you, Nina. That was so much fun. I encourage anyone that has items to include, if this has sparked some thought for you, to definitely round up those items and get them to Nina. How fun. Thank you, Nina. And thanks for doing all the gathering on that as well. So today has been a great day to reflect on the rich history of our club, and we must also look to the future and what will sustain the work we do today and into the future. And speaking of the future, I couldn't speak of that without having a bit of conversation about Naperville Rotary Charities. For some that are not aware, Naperville Rotary Charities over the last 25 years has continued a very prominent role in serving citizens of Naperville and the world. The main share of the credit for the club's successes goes to Naperville Rotary Charities. NRC, as it's nicknamed, was formed as a nonprofit organization in 1993. And unlike the club itself, NRC was organized exclusively for its for charitable and educational purposes, and donates funds to other 501c3 organizations. So a substantial portion of the charitable contributions, donations, and allocations made by provided by the Rotary Club of Naperville is due to the generosity and the foresight from those members that created NRC. And Naperville Rotary Charities really has been a wonderful part of our past and certainly is a part of our future. And I want to acknowledge just how grateful I am and the club is for the work that we are able to do through the generosity and the foresight of this organization. So 13 months ago, as president-elect at the president-elect training, I was inspired by RI President Holger as he told our class of incoming presidents that we needed to think creatively, and outside of the box to grow Rotary, and that flexibility and innovation will strengthen our clubs. Well, little did we know just how creative we would need to be over the next year. President Holger was and is right. Flexibility in membership models and the way we meet and think will test our creativity, but Rotarians are up for that challenge. I've seen an amazing level of resilience in our members over this past year, and I'd like to say that I'm grateful to all of you for that. The future of Rotary is in good hands. As I was writing my letter to the future Rotarians of this club in 2041 for the time capsule, I was excited to think about what we do today and how it has such a profound influence on tomorrow's leaders. I can't wait to see which one of you is president of this club in 2041. I can't wait to celebrate 100 years with you on that day, 20 short years from now. Let's toast to the next 80 years as the story continues with joy and gratitude at the honor of being part of Rotary history as we go out and continue to do good in the world. I'd like to say that a program like today's doesn't happen without a lot of planning. And please note this innovative and hardworking team listed on this slide. Every single detail for today, and there were many, was handled by someone on this list. I tapped Nancy Weirsom to be the leader of this group, and she didn't miss a beat saying yes, and she has done an amazing job of leadership. Nancy, I cannot thank you enough. You and the team have done an amazing job. Nancy, would you like to share a few words?
Thank you, Alma. This was truly a great honor to work with such an incredible team, and I want to thank each and every one of them. In John Kennedy's words, we celebrate the past to awaken the future, and that is what this team and this club are doing today. And Alma, honestly, it's been a privilege to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. What an amazing leader. If no one has ever been privileged to be in a meeting that Nancy has led, you have really missed an opportunity to see leadership in action. Her meetings are amazing, and anyone on this group, on this team, would say the same. So thank you, Nancy, very much.
Thank you.
So next, Rich, do you have any parting words of Sergeant wisdom that you would like to share with us?
Just one last call. Scroll all the way back up in your chat to that link where you can click the link and immediately go to an easy spot to donate towards the fines. Obviously, fines have been an important part of this club for many years, and we ask everyone to contribute your part towards our scholarships by clicking that link and making a donation. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you for your leadership now and for your future leadership and for agreeing to be our guest sergeant today. Thank you. And now as you know, there are quotes that I like to share with you each week when I think one has relevance to our program. The one Emerson quote that I have always really enjoyed, I think speaks to today. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I can't imagine a way to describe more clearly Rotarians of this club, Rotarians worldwide. So thank you for always, always blazing a trail. So Glenn Eakey, president in 1990-91, was an expressive and a thoughtful man who believed that recreation was good for the mind and body, a true be well to do good soul. Glenn passed away in October of 2020, but earlier in the year, he shared some wisdom so very relevant today.
You know what? One thing that I always has stuck in my mind since the day I joined Rotary Club that I didn't mention today that sticks with me in my everyday life today is the four-way test.
Absolutely.
Rotary four-way test. I use it in all my decision-making processes. It's been something if I had nothing else to take away from Rotary all these number of years, it would be the four-way test. And I say that as a wish that to all of our members to protect it, abide by it, and we'll all be better people for it in Rotary and our families and communities and throughout the world. So.
Thank you for those wise words from Glenn Eakey. And as we played those words from Glenn, I would like to take this quick moment to thank Paul Fife. If it was not for Paul's great editing skills and that of his staff, we would not have enjoyed the videos that we had today from the past presidents and from these wise words from Glenn Eakey. So again, I'd like to give a shout out to Paul Fife and thank him for his help with this. And also thanks to Dave Delaturza for doing a great job of running the slides today along with Kim White. So thank you all for that. And so if not for Paul Lehman, as you heard and learned earlier in our trivia, who was past president in 1980 and 81, we would not be reciting the four-way test at each meeting. Paul initiated reciting the four-way test during his presidency, and I personally thank you for that, Paul, for your insight into why these words that we live by mean so much to all of us, and why the weekly reminder of the strength in their meaning is important to all of us. So it's important for us to hear from Paul Lehman today for a word or two before he leads us in the four-way test. Paul?
Thank you very much, Alma. It's a privilege to be part of this program. It's a privilege to be with all of the Rotarians that are participating today and made this program what it is. It's interesting that 40 years ago, when I was president, we had a way, which we still do today, of opening the meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer. But we really didn't have a good way of ending the meeting except for hitting the bell with a gavel. And so I instituted the four-way test as the closing program item, so that as we dispersed our individual businesses, we were thinking about the four-way test. And at that time, I don't think any clubs in the district were using it. And District Governor Chuck Corrigan confirmed to me that there's probably 75% of the clubs in the district today that now use the four-way test. So if we can all recite the four-way test, I'm privileged to lead it for you. First, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Paul, you didn't think I'd miss my cue with the bell, did you? Paul, thank you very much for that. And thank you for your leadership in having this be part of our program. And I probably said the words thank you a thousand times today. And I hope you don't feel that they were completely overdone. They are very sincere words of gratitude to everyone that has joined in today to make today a celebration. And I would really like to encourage all of you to, those that are not members of the club, to come back and be guests with us any Thursday. And for those members of the club, really want to thank you for your courage and your resiliency this year. And thank you very much, Chuck Corrigan, again, for joining us today, and Barb Dwyer for coming from afar and sharing with us, as well as Bill and Karen Garlow. And I know there are other guests that I may have missed, and I apologize for those that I have missed, but I really want you to know how much it means to us that you are with us today. And we appreciate the support from the community for all the many things that we do in the community and globally. So with that, I would like to say cheers to 80 years, and here's to the next 80. Thank you very much.